Hey, it's Dean here, head coach for Alpha Omega. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the 4 key elements to getting better results from your body. And really, it's this simple. If you want a certain result from your body, it is really important to start asking better questions of yourself and of your body. For example, when our cars break down, right? They're not doing what they're meant to do, we don't start thinking, shit, we better cut this warning light out or start removing pieces from the car, or even like putting stickers over the engine light that shows up on your dash or the warning signals, do we? No, we start asking questions of everything that we have done or maybe we have not done that could be causing the car to break down like it is. And if we don't know the answer, we take it to someone who would, like a mechanic, and then they test the car and look for the source of the issue. So this brings me to the first key element to getting a result. And the first one is nutrition, the food we put into our bodies. This is the fuel we use to drive our vehicle, right? Now I like to look at things like my body just like a car, because most people understand basics about cars. And if you don't put fuel in your car, you're not really going to get very far during your day, are you? If you need energy all day long, then it is like driving from one end of the country to the other, because at some point you're going to need to put fuel in at the start of your journey, and then you're probably going to need to put fuel in towards the middle of your journey and then the end of the journey, right? So you need the fuel there to get from one end to the other. And if you put the wrong fuels into your car, you probably will eventually need to go see a mechanic from it breaking down or start replacing things, right? But what is the right fuels for your body? To be honest, I don't know specifically, because everybody's goals are different. If you want to run a marathon, for instance, the types of foods and how often you're going to eat is going to be completely different to someone who wants to bodybuild. So what foods do you eat? Well, look, it depends on your goal. I want you to fuel to your goal. Most people just want to be fit, healthy, and strong for their everyday activities, like, just get through the day with energy, or maybe lose some body fat, or keeping up with their kids, things like that, right? So you need to create a plan to your goals. Although what I see mostly with people these days and their eating habits is they become so obsessed and emotionally attached to a number on a bloody scale. This is made up of so many different things in your body, not to mention the amount of gravity holding you down, right? And at the end of the day, it's just going to do your own head in, or just like me, like I used to do, get upset about these numbers not moving enough. So how do you overcome this? Start asking better questions. Focus on questions like, will this food improve my health? Will this amount of food in front of me, will it be too much to eat if I want to lose weight? Things like this. The better the question, the better your awareness will be of reaching your goal. Now, I'm not going to say I'm a food Nazi, right? Yes, I like to binge every now and then maybe eat that tasty donut, right? Do I do it all the time? No, I use the 80-20 rule. That way I be mindful of what I'm eating for 80% of the time, and then I let loose the other 20% of the time. I outweigh those balance scales in favor of health, so then my body can do exactly what it needs to do to operate it at its best performance. Which brings me to number 2, the second key element, and this one's huge. It goes very well with nutrition to fuel and operate our body. It's water. We are made up of 80% water, and we are using that water every second of the day to keep our body functioning. So is it important to keep that topped up? Yes, it is. They say by theory we should get at least 2 liters of water in a day just to get our basic top-ups. I always like to aim for excellence though, so if I fall short, I'm still over that basic line. So I aim for 3 liters of water a day. That's like four bottles of the 750ml bottles a day. And this is easy to get through if you're always carrying one around with you. But here's the catch, right? Our bodies will only absorb so much water at a time. It's like, think of it like this. It's like throwing a sponge into a bucket of water. The sponge will only soak up so much water and leave the rest, right? Or in our case, we can only soak up so much and the rest is weed out, right? So if you want to absorb as much as possible, the best tip I can give you is sip all throughout the day instead of having those big, massive guzzles, all right? Another tip is to aim to have water 30 minutes outside of food, right? As the water and the food mixture will actually dilute your stomach acids that are needed to break down your food and will make it harder for your body to digest that food, causing other gut issues, all right? But lastly on the water, and this is probably a big scary one I think, and a great way to make sure I'm always staying hydrated. The way our body works, if we don't get enough water in and start to dehydrate our body's going to go looking for sources of water. It's going to go looking throughout the body for more water to fuel our most important parts, which are our organs. And the first place the body will start looking for, it's going to look for water in your digestive system. Now our waste needs water to clear it out easily and slide on out. But if you're dehydrated, our organs need the water more. So basically, our body's going to go down there and it's going to suck all the water out of your waste and utilize that water to fuel your organs. Now, I'm not sure I need to explain how shitty of a situation that water is going to be, right? Do you think your organs would operate better on clean water or toxic water from your waste? So my tip is stay hydrated. Don't focus on the shitty water. Now the third key element is sleep. Yes, sleep is so important for so many factors. This is the time your body goes to recharge. All right, it goes into recharge mode just like your phone at the end of the day. It needs to be recharged so you can use it again the next day, right? But imagine this. You put your phone on charge. All right, every night you go in and put your phone on charge and you wake up to realize that your charger was not plugged in properly. What happens to your phone? It won't last all day, right? This is just like our bodies. If we are not getting a good recharge, then we will struggle to function all day before needing to recharge again. So the question is though, how many hours do you really need? Well, that actually depends on what you're doing each day, really. The basic guideline is 6 to 8 hours each night. This gives your body enough sleep cycles to do what it needs to do, release the hormones, and go through all the recovery processes that it needs to do so you can wake up fully energized and ready for the next day, right? But what if my sleep is broken every night? I hear this quite a lot. Well, if your phone was cutting in and out all night, you know that time when it's maybe not charging properly and it's got that constant buzzy, buzz, 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 would you just say, oh, it's just a shitty charger, it is what it is? No, you wouldn't, right? You would start asking better questions like, is my charger plugged in properly? Is there something wrong with the connection? Maybe it's the cords, maybe there's split cords or something. The power box maybe. These questions allow us to find a solution and then we act on it, right? Because we need our phones. We don't just accept it and go, oh, well, it is what it is, right? Yet, when we as humans have broken sleep, we tend to just label something and accept it for what it is. Like, I'm not sleeping, it is just how it is, so I'm just going to deal with it. No! Start asking better questions of yourself and then act on it. I find with sleep, if we start asking questions like, am I eating foods to keep me up all night? Right? So I may have something emotionally going on. Do I have something emotionally going on? Have I moved enough today? Could be loads of things, but asking better questions and assuming it is something you are doing or not doing to your body will always give you the power to start eliminating the issue. And look, I'm going to be honest, majority of the time with what I have seen with people that have had sleep issues, most of the time it's something going on up here inside their head that's unresolved. So this is where I start first. Find out what that thing is. And the last tip with sleep, and this one is a huge one, to whether you wake up buzzing with energy or sluggish, right? And it's to stop hitting that snooze button. Since, we take sleep cycles, right? Sleep works in cycles. If we continue hitting that snooze button, you're basically telling yourself to start that shutdown process again, and then the alarm goes off and your body has just started shutting down, and boom, you've just made yourself way more tired, right? So how do we stop this? As soon as the alarm goes off, I like to use the 5-second rule. I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I get out of bed without thinking and I start doing my morning routine. And of course, my wife loves this when my alarm goes off and I radically flick the sheets off, and then 5 seconds later and scare the crap out of her at 4 a.m. in the morning when I get up, right? And this is every morning that I do this. But I promise you, if you just do this one thing in your morning, energy will be so much different for you in the morning and all day long. We've come to the last key element, and this is movement. As humans, we're built to move. We are not trees. And since we are built to survive, if the body feels like we are not utilizing a part of the body, it's just going to eliminate it. So it doesn't take up all this precious energy that we need for other things like our organs and stuff to run. For instance, have you ever seen an older person sit in their rocking chair all day long, and when they need to get up and move about, they basically struggle to move around, right? They struggle to get out of their chair, things like this, right? That is because their body sees them not utilizing a lot of their muscles, so it will get rid of it so it doesn't waste precious energy. We need that energy for certain parts like our organs to operate. But then you may have seen some older people doing things like, the American Ninja, Australian Ninja, some crazy things like that, or just jumping around like crazy, full of energy. The difference is their lifestyle choices. One is sitting in a chair all day long, not really doing much, while the other would be out moving their body as much as possible so they can do as much as possible during the day. Now, which one do you think would you want to be when you're older? It is all a choice at the end of the day. So how much do you need to move? Or how to move all comes down to your goals, right? This is a big thing. What do you want to achieve exactly? There is no point training like a marathon runner if you want to be a bodybuilder. They're two extreme ends of the scale. But look, it makes a clear point. Most people I train or meet just want to be fit, healthy, and strong for their everyday activities. So in this case, you don't need to train hours and hours and hours all day long. I can show you a way how to be strong and fit in as little as 10 minutes a day if needed, right? But you don't need to do hours if you just want to be fit, healthy, and strong. The point is, I know what your goal is and then train for that. Now you might be asking, what is the best kind of exercise to do? Like, there's so much information out there, right? Weights or cardio? For starters, look, I'm a big believer of cardio should be things that you do all the time. Like, I just don't call it cardio. For instance, take the stairs instead of the elevator. Park further away from the shop so you have to walk a distance to get there. Take the bloody dog for a walk, for instance. Go for a swim, just something, just move. But don't label it. Although, the best kind of workouts, I'm going to be straight with you, the best kind of workouts for you are resistance workouts. Ones that require you to lift weights, because the amount of benefits that will aid your quality of life is absolutely next level. Training weights will increase the amount of calories you burn that will therefore burn more fat for longer during your day. Your joints will be stronger. Your bones will be stronger. Your balance will become way better, which means less falls as you get older. and just all that general health, like your immune system, that's going to improve as well. But that in itself should be enough to start lifting more weights. Now look, if you're going to start lifting weights and you've never done it before, I can't urge you enough. Please, please, please go get some help so you can do it correctly without hurting yourself. All right? Well, there you go, guys. 4 key elements to focus on that, if you ask enough great questions, will most certainly help you get better answers of your body and start moving you towards your goal you want. Thanks for watching. Chat soon.